बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालपविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालपविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालपविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार शिल गोरक्षरस बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विश्व शिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यालप विष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुग कोरिय गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद। Let me, I didn't go through a say. नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्रीमार भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्रीमार भक्ति बल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिल भक्ति दयित माधव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिल भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिल भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोसाई महाराज की जाय। All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the disciples and followers of those associates ki jai. जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. I will do Mangalacharan and begin. अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति विदितो कोडियगुर्वन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभातगगने योगोरसङ्कीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलोदरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवानिमान् कृष्णप्रेमसुताब्धिगाहनसुखं प्रदत्प्रभुं तं भजे। वन्दे भक्तिविनोदं श्री गौरशक्तिस्वरूपकं भक्तिशास्त्रज्ञसम्राजं राधारससुधानिधिं नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वृषभानुसुतान्वितवामतनुं यमुनातटनागरनन्दसुतं मुरलीकलगीतविनोरपरं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुम् स्मर गौरगदाधरकेलिकलं भव गौरगदाधरपाक्षचर शृणु गौरगदाधरचारुकथं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुम् तवैवास्मि तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय देवि त्वं नयमां चरणान्तिकम् भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्षाय क्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Amal Krishna Prabhu, Champak Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is there. I see Jayashri Didi, Madhubala Didi, and there are 7 devotees there on YouTube and Facebook. If you write a comment, I'll see your name. But Dandavat pranams everybody. Also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadeva Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Vrinda Didi, Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. Hare Krishna. And I'm guessing Raseshwari Mataji and Indira Mataji are there. So, I, just before I started, someone requested me that I do a little, like, well, he requested that I do another day of glorifications of Srila Gurudev. And I would normally do that because, yeah, one day is definitely not enough. But with this current Bhaktivinoda Giti Dhara program, we have a schedule like every Thursday we are starting the next week. And so I'm not going to do a full program. Like we have to go through some Nagara-kīrtanas today of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That's the section we're on today. But maybe we could just do a little something in the right now. There's something I wrote a few years ago, and it was kind of related to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's kirtans and Gurudev, and so maybe that's appropriate. I can just find that. One second. I wrote it. I didn't write it for Vyas Puja, but it was mostly about Srila Gurudev. So let me just find it. Um, Yeah, and right before I started, I had a problem with my mic, so I had to restart my computer. That's why I'm starting pretty late today. Where is it? Okay, it was, I think it's called, let me see, Arrival. There it is. Preparing for the auspicious arrival. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to read this. I'm sorry, I was not prepared to, but yeah, I think it's actually still Srila Gurudev's appearance day in the West, in America right now. Oh, and we didn't finish reading. We didn't finish reading the article yesterday. Maybe we could also just, the last part is really short, so I'm going to read that. Yes. Here, let's look at this. Um, yeah, so this the article that we read yesterday was finally laid out late last night, and we read all the sections, but we didn't read the last one. Let's see, Ratha Yatra and Mathura. It's short, so this. Okay, so yearly, at the time of Ratha Yatra, Srila Gurudev would speak on the esoteric moods of this festival. So this is what this is one year he spoke. The topic of this Ratha Yatra festival is related to Krishna Prem, Raganuga Bhakti. It is not a subject matter related to Vaidhi Bhakti. Before the advent of Sriman Mahaprabhu, this Ratha Yatra pastime was a subject matter of Vaidhi Bhakti only. Even today, for the practitioners of Vaidhi Bhakti, this festival is observed in accordance with Vaidhi Bhakti. But what is this entire pastime about? Ratha Yatra reveals the epitome of prem. This pastime contains nothing ordinary or inferior. Gaur moves ahead, and Sham very slowly travels behind him. Why slowly? Seeing Mahaprabhu's expressions of prem, Srimati Radhika's moods, then Jagannath Dev becomes absorbed in bhav and cannot move quickly. Although he has no energy left to move further, nevertheless, he must keep moving. So he moves very slowly and gradually. How many deep emotions Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing as he became imbued with all the moods of Srimati Radhika. His Harikatha has been compiled in book form, Sri Jagannath Ratha Yatra. The deep significance of Ratha Yatra, being most confidential, is not widely known. This book is rich with the significance of the loving moods of Raj, the novel realm of divine love, which gives not only a Gaudiya Vaishnavas, but everyone an invaluable perspective of this wonderful pastime. Srila Gurudev, fully immersed in relishing the highest aspects of this pastime, distributed them through his Harikatha, and also initiated a simple Ratha Yatra festival in Mathura. The speciality of this Mathura Ratha Yatra was that the inner moods of the festival were given emphasis, not the grandeur. Possibly, this is the only Ratha Yatra festival that has a route traversing the bank of the Yamuna, as described in the first verse of Sri Jagannathashtakam, in which the sight of Yamuna serves as a stimulant, Udipan, to remind Jagannath Dev of his Vraj pastimes. In the first verse it says, Kadachit kalindi tata vipina sangi tataralo mudabhiri nari vadana kamala swada madhupa. Rama Shambhu Brahma Marapati Ganeshar Chitapado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Sometimes Sri Jagannath Dev makes supremely sweet, melodious music with his flute within the groves along the banks of the Yamuna. Like a bee thirsty for honey, he jubilantly relishes the lotus faces of the gopis. His feet are offered worship by great personalities such as Lakshmi, Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Ganesh. May Jagannath Swami kindly enter the pathway of my vision. So you see that the Mathura Rath Yatra is along the banks of the Yamuna. All right, so now Maybe I'll just read a little bit from this. Sorry, I'm just reading something I wrote, but I wasn't actually like I wasn't planning to. Yeah, I'm just yeah. I don't have anything else right now. Right. So every year from 1996 onwards, Srila Gurudev blessed Badger, a little town in the foothills of the Nevada mountains, with the dust of his lotus feet, and transformed it into new Braj. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1:13-10, Yudhishthira Maharaj said to Vidura that because he carried the Lord in his heart, he turned wherever he went into a place of pilgrimage. Tirti kurvanti tirtani. Such is the power of the Mahabhagavats. A kirtan especially dear to our Srila Gurudev was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Radha Kunda Tata. He would often have devotees sing and explain it. In one class, he said those who want to do bhajan should always remember this song. Always. Do you want to see that class? Let's just. Um, I think I can share my computer audio. Yes. Yeah. Let's see the class. What if you spoke that? Oh, I thought I had a recording. Anyhow, never mind. But yeah, those who want to do bhajan should always remember this song, always. This is also Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, one of his favorite songs. One second, let me just. Okay, sorry, I messed up when I tried to share my screen then. Okay, there. Okay, so in this kirtan from Sharanagati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur takes us through various places in Vraj and describes the Uddipan there. Uddipan means stimuli, are those ingredients that stimulate remembrance of Radha and Krishna's pastimes, such as the Yamuna, Vangshivat, the trees and creepers of Vrindavan, the birds and deer, the Malaya winds, the peacocks, the bumblebees, clouds, springtime, the moon, karatals. At the end of the song, in verse 7, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, ऐसा वो छोड़ता कहीं नहीं जाओ ऐसा वो छोड़ता पराना हराओ. He says, I will not give up this Uddipan to go anywhere else, for to abandon them is to give up my very life. Srila Gurudev fully embodied these words. It was completely impossible for him to give up the Uddipan of Vraj. For him to give up Vraj would mean giving up his very life. Parana harao, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in that song. So the only way he was able to step out of Vraj and journey to the west was by taking the entirety of Vraj with him. I once heard a devotee glorify Srila Gurudev by saying, you can take a tiger out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the tiger. Vishnu Prabhu, he nicely highlighted this point in one of his remembrances of Srila Gurudev. He said, I got this, Vishnu Prabhu from Houston. He said, I got to drive Srila Gurudev back from the airport. This is in 1996, I think. And he said, in my foolishness, I thought, Gurudev is coming to America for the first time. And generally, people get very excited to see the freeway here and the roads, because in India, the roads are so bad. And even the roads in England are not as amazing as the roads in the US. Especially Houston has amazing wide freeways. So I asked Gurudev, sorry, so I said, Gurudev, how do you like the roads here? And Gurudev said, I'm only seeing Man Gully, Prem Gully. What roads? And like this, he saw Braj everywhere. He really saw it. It was not theoretical. He lived in Vrindavan because he carried Vrindavan in his heart. And he wanted to give Vrindavan to all of us. For one who is completely laden in Vraj Ras, who is eternally residing in Vraj, everywhere he goes becomes permeated with the mood of the Vrajavasis. It affects everyone who has the fortune to come near him. Whatever mundane city one physically happens to be in fades away in the presence of a true Vrajavasi. Every day, every day, no matter where he was, became a grand Mahotsav, a festival of Vraj. Even the quiet, unremarkable redneck town of Badger was transformed by the dust of his feet into a genuine holy place. It became New Braj, not just in name, but you could really feel the mood of Vrindavan alive in that place. The effect of his foot dust there lingers even now. You can even, yes, it still feels, if you go to Badger today, you still feel it's like a holy place. You can feel Srila Gurudev's, his potency still there. I guess I can just stop here. I'll just read a little bit more then. Preparing for Srila Gurudev's arrival in New Braj. For those of us living in New Braj, Gurudev's annual Hari Katha festival would begin well before he arrived. It was the preliminary festival of preparation and anticipation. There was so much to do: setting up the kitchen, washing the pots, cleaning up the house and temple, mowing, weed whacking and trimming, digging outhouses, setting up the campsite for the devotees, setting up the Harikatha pandal, decorations, and the list goes on. As his arrival date neared, the excitement would continuously build up until finally that glorious, brilliant day would arrive and the atmosphere would be bursting with joy. There is no way to describe the delight that filled the air as we did kirtan in the driveway, listening out for the car and eagerly watching the driveway for him to arrive. Finally, after some false alarms, because New Bruges is very remote, like it's rare for cars to drive by on the road, and so we'd hear a car from the distance, and we think, "Oh, he's coming!" And so then the kirtan would go crazy, and then the car would drive by, and like, and so yeah. So after some false alarms, other cars driving past, Gurudev's car or van would appear and slowly wind up the long driveway, and the kirtan would completely explode as the car door would open and he'd step his lotus foot onto the pavement. Everything and everyone around him would bask in his purifying effulgence. Although a video camera is not able to capture the experience everyone felt at that moment, you can see footage of the first time I obtained darshan of Srila Gurudev in that driveway here. You want to see this? I'll just show you quickly. This is, one second. This is when this is in New Braj in 1997. Here, one second. Sorry about that. Anyway, sorry. So, all right. Where were we? Oh, sorry. Second. So that was just after Gurudev, like, that was the second time he came to Badger. Um, so preparing for the arrival of holy titis. Divine personalities are not limited by the physical laws of time and space, and we are so fortunate to have the opportunity to welcome them as they make their auspicious arrival on their holy titis throughout the year. On Falguni Purnima, Mahaprabhu descends. On Ashadi Amavasya, Srila Gadadhar Pandit and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur descend. On the Ashadi Purnima, Srila Sanatan Goswami. On Shravan Dwadashi, Srila Rupa Goswami. On the Krishna Ashtami of Bhadra, Sri Krishna. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada descends the very next day after that. On the Shukla Ashtami of Bhadra, Srimati Radharani. On so many days of the year, the associates of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna, our Guru Varga, and numerous pure Vaishnavas keep on descending to bestow their mercy and give us strength in our devotional practice. Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj stressed countless times that if we neglect these personalities when they come to us on these auspicious days, it constitutes an aparad. We see in a verse from the Skanda Puran that it is considered Vaishnav aparad to not welcome a Vaishnav, nabi nandati, and to not feel joy upon seeing a Vaishnav, no harsham darshane. So we must take special care to honor these days when they mercifully come to us. Today, this is when I wrote this, today Akadashi made her divine descent. Tomorrow, Varahadev will arrive. Then Nityananda Prabhu. Then Narottam Das Thakur. Then my Param Gurudev. Then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Then Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj. We should be ready to receive and honor them. Just like there was so much to do in preparation before our Srila Gurudev would come to New Braj, in the same way, there is much we can do in preparation for these days. Nityananda Trayodashi doesn't need to start in 3 days from now. The preparation for the festival can start today. My mind and heart are so dirty. I've watched many YouTube videos, I always go on about YouTube, and listened to lots of music these past days. Now I need to clear that all out and wash away the filth they have left in my mind and heart with Harinam, Harikatha, and Kirtan. When Nityananda Prabhu arrives, what am I going to do? Am I going to just stand there before him like a mute? No, I should memorize some of our Guru Varga's prayers of glorification of him, which I'll be able to offer him on that day. There are also so many articles to read, classes to hear, services to perform in preparation right now. On the eve of any great tithi, Sriman Mahaprabhu and his followers would often perform Adivas Kirtan, the big kirtan before a special day. The more we can prepare ourselves, the more seriously we will be able to honor, the more seriously we will be able to honor these days. Okay, so anyhow, that's we'll move over to going over the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs for this for today, which are the Nagara-kīrtanas. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote one second. He wrote these little booklets called it's called Vaishnav Siddhanta Mala. We've published the first Vaishnav Siddhanta, like the first of those little booklets. And he published these booklets in order to inaugurate the Nam Hatta. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he set up a whole very one second. I'm just trying to find. I think I wrote a summary of all those little booklets. Just trying to find it. Okay, yeah, yeah. So he Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a series of booklets which were published in 1892, Six little booklets. I wrote a little summary. I'll just show you what they are. One second. So, um, yeah, so there's a series of booklets divided into six parts called gutis, because Vaishnav Siddhanta Mala, mala means a garland, right? Or it can also mean neck beads, like a mala, kanti mala, like that. And so this is a mala, of Vaishnav Siddhanta. So a necklace of Vaishnav conclusions. And each of these little booklets were called gutis. So part one was guti one, guti two. And so the gutis means beads. So these were all the little beads on the necklace. And yeah, this was for the propagation of Namhatta, which was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He established a very sophisticated, like well planned out system called Namhatta, which is the marketplace of the holy name. And so a lot of these books are just focused on that, the Namhatta. And they were so the first book, part one, provides answers to many philosophical questions, and part two contains an authoritative deliberation on the subject of Harinam and the different stages of chanting. So our Srila Gurudev published part one. Um, yeah. And then part three, Nam, contains Shriman Mahaprabhu Shatanam, so the 100 names of Mahaprabhu. We'll go over that also in the last week of our program. Shri Krishna Vinkshottara Shatanam. That's 120 names of Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, that's among that. That's in that section. Then Mahaprabhu's instructions in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and other places on chanting the holy name. And then part four, the fourth guti bead is Nam Tattva Shikshashtak. So this contains Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Shikshashtak songs. And then part five, book five, is Shri Nam Mahima. This contains all the Namashtak songs. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a song based on every single verse of Srila Rupa Goswami's Namashtak. We're familiar with the song Narad Muni Bhajai Vina. That's the last song in that section. And then also in that booklet was Yashomati Nandana, Dalaler Geet. That's the song. A Dalal is a broker. And so it's the song of the broker, Dalaler Geet. That's Boro Suker Kaborgai. Boro Suker Kaborgai. And then Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nache Amarman, Nache Amarman, Nache Amarman. So that's in the fifth booklet, Shri Nam Mahima. And then the sixth booklet is Nam Prachar. And that contains Agyat Tahal, which is Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan, that song. And also for that song, Nadiya Godrume, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes an elaborate commentary. Um, that would be maybe, I don't know. I have a busy day today. I was gonna say maybe we can go through. I could prepare the commentary. We'll see. Maybe. And then there are also many Nagar-kīrtanas, Nam-kīrtanas, and Bhajan Geet. Those songs, Bhajare Bhajare Amar, and I think Sarveshwari Mataji chose that one, right? And also Bhavana Bhavanotman. Those were all in that book, Nam Prachar. So um, yeah, so we'll just go through. We have 15 minutes. We'll see how many of these songs we can go through. And then later, after Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance, then they compiled a lot of these songs into the book called Gitavali. Okay, so um, I'll just try to find it here in the songbook. Let's see, where would it be? There it is. Chant the holy name. That's what I named this section. And actually, most of the songs in this are, um, yeah, most of the songs here are all about Nam. Hari se bora Hari ka Nam. There's Namashtak. Oh, God, sorry. What happened? Oh, it's at the beginning of the section. Sorry, guys. Let me just give me a second here. Um, mm, it's frozen. Okay, there. There. Okay. Now we're here. There's a book called Godrum Kalpatavi, which has very clearly marked out what are all the positions in Namhata. Let's go through the song Boro. Let's start with this. Boro Suker Kaborgai. So this is a song of the broker, Dalaler Git. This explains the Namhata. And every in the Namhata, in the Godrum Kalpatavi, there everybody has different positions. Like actually maybe we can find that. Let's first look at the song. So my throat. Let me just clear my throat. I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Okay. So Boro Suker Kabor Gai. I'm singing news of great happiness. Surabi kunjete namer hat kuleche kodanitai. Surabi kunjete namer hat kuleche kodanitai. So at Surabi Kunj, Lord Nitai has opened a marketplace of the holy name. Namer hat kuleche kodanitai. Boro mojar kotatai. It is a matter of great joy. Boro moja. He is selling that pure holy name at the marketplace. What's the price for that? Shraddha mulya. The mulya, the price is shraddha. So for the price of one's faith, shuddhanam she hatate vigai. He sells the pure name. That's all that's required, is that we give our faith. Jato bhakta vrinda boshi. So all the devotees, they are sitting there in that marketplace. And then Nityananda Prabhu, he goes through and he looks at each devotee. Adhikari deke nam beche doro kashi. So he goes and he settles the appropriate price. he and he offers the name accordingly to the devotee's faith. So all the devotees are sitting there and he's looking, okay, how much money do you have? How much faith do you have? And he'll give everybody that degree to that degree. He'll give the name to that degree. So Jadi Nama Kinbe Bhai. Oh, brothers, if you want to purchase that holy name, then Amar Shange Chalo Mahajanir Kache Jai. Then come with me to meet this magnanimous personality, this Mahajan, Nityananda Mahajan. Tumi Kinbe Krishna Nam. You will purchase the holy name. Dasturi loibo yami purna habe kam. And then I shall take my due commission, and all our desires will be fulfilled. Boro doyal Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu is greatly merciful. He's extraordinarily merciful. Boro doyal Nityananda. Shraddha matra laye den paramayananda. Merely for the price of one's faith. Shraddha matra, only for faith. Loye den parama ananda. Only taking one's faith, then he gives parama ananda, the topmost ananda, bliss. Ek bar dekle choke jal. So if Nitai just once sees tears welling in the eyes of someone chanting the name of Gaur, then Shakala Sambal, he gives full support to that person. So ek bar dekle choke jal, Gaur bole Nitai den Shakala Sambal. Then Shuddha Krishna Shikha, he gives that person genuine teachings about Sri Krishna. Jati dhan vidya bal na kore upeka apeka. And He doesn't impose any conditions on that person regarding to caste, wealth, or strength of knowledge. Doesn't matter if you're an absolute fool, if you're just a poor, destitute, you're born in a bad, like in a very low class family. There's no qualification needed. All that you need, if he sees a tears welling in that person's eye, chanting the name Gore, he gives full support to that person. He just wants to see some faith. That's the only requirements. Nothing else matters. Amani chare maya jal. The snares of Maya are immediately released, so one may remain either at home as a householder or in the forest as a renunciant, for no more troubles remain. আর নাইকো কলির ভয় আচণ্ডালে দে নাম নিতাই দয়াময়. There's no longer any near sorry, I can't read for some reason. There's no longer any need to fear the age of Kali, for the munificent Nitai gives the holy name to everyone, even to the lowest among men. Bhakti vinod daki koi, Nitai chander charan bina, ar nahi ashray. Bhakti Vinod loudly proclaims to all, besides the lotus feet of Shri Nitai Chandra, there is no other shelter. Isn't that such a beautiful song? So do you want let's just look at the Nam Hatta that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur established. I think it's let's go to bhaktivinodainstitute.org and I just want to find the books. Where is it? Books. There it is. Um, let's see. Godrum Kalpatavi. Yeah, so if you want to find this, go to bhaktivinodainstitute.org and find the Godrum Kalpatavi. And they also have all those booklets that I was mentioning. Nam Mahima, Nam Prachar, Shri Hari Nam. Here, it's Godrum Kalpatavi. I haven't actually read the whole book yet. I just saw some parts of it and I said, whoa. So it's okay. So it's guess it's divided according to desire trees. So there's the first desire tree, second desire tree, third desire tree, fourth desire tree. Let's just go to the fourth desire tree. Let's see what's in that. Okay, so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, here's a description of the preaching activities. Um, the work of Sri Namhatta begins on 13th Posh Chaitanya 405, 405. And right now we're on Chaitanyabda, what is it? I think 38, 538. So now some of the workers gather at Kolkata's Kumar Tuli, Sri Goranga Gopinath Kunj, Bidan Street, in the house of Sri Yuta Rai Kanayalal De Bahadur, at the Ram Bagan Bhakti Bhavan, that's Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, which ISKCON just acquired, and they're gonna make now devotees will finally be able to go to it for the first time ever, because it was filled with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's descendants. But now ISKCON has it, and they're just renovating it now. So they all went to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house in Kolkata for a large festival. Then Sri Vipin Bihari Bhakti Tirtha has established one Prapanashram at Amla Joda village in Burdwan district. And in the neighboring villages also he is preaching the glories of the holy name. So this is the beginning of the Nam Hatta. And you'll see everybody has different positions in the Nam Hatta. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that, so these are all the different activities. Let's see, is it the last page? He mentions all the positions that everybody has in this marketplace. And he says that he is just the unqualified low sweeper. So he writes a song here. I was actually thinking about putting this in the songbook, but I didn't end up putting it in. But Nitai Nam Hate Okay Jabire Bhai I Chute. I heard Krishnadas Prabhu sing this one time. He says, Oh brothers, Nityananda is present in the marketplace of the holy name. Whoever is coming to see him, run quickly. The two greatly sinful rascals, Jagai and Madai, have looted the marketplace and taken all the goods. There you'll find the share traders, Sri Advaita Acharya and Sanatan Goswami. The storekeeper is the expert Gadadhar Pandit. The watchmen are Haridas Thakur and others. Sanjay and Sridhar are the porters. Keshav Bharati and Vidya Vachaspati are brokers. And Krishnadas Kaviraj and others are servants. Srivas Pandit is the treasurer. And Kedarnath is appropriately the sweeper. The cost of the goods in the marketplace is the ninefold process of devotional service, and the currency is prem, the topmost essence. There is no restriction for purchasing these goods. Here, both customers who have only a little wealth and those who have much wealth are considered equal. Oh, people, just load up with as much of the goods as you like. There is no shortage. Um, this is good advice for attaining love of God. The auspicious news of this marketplace comes in the form of the nectarian holy name of Lord Hari. While availing yourself of this benediction, let there be no malice or favoritism. Let all, whoever they may be, eat from the same plate. So I guess they sung this kirtan? Let's just see. On 9 Ashwin, all the Namhatta workers, and so these are all like actual people, they gathered at Hatipur, Devakhand, where nearly 3,000 people had assembled at the Natyashala of Jagat Janani Bhadrakali. The traveling salesman of that place, Shriyuta Keshava Chandra Chakravarti, had made many preparations with gates and pandals. With great enthusiasm, the villagers took the Namhatta workers from the bank of the river to a pandal. Along the way, village women who were filled with ecstasy were ululating. You know, when they, the ulu. Um, I can't do it. So those present will not forget the enchanting scene. Everyone lost consciousness and was submerged in an ocean of Krishna Prem. After all the devotees were properly seated in the mandap, the following song was sung in the Baul melody. Okay, so then that's the song that we just read. Um, And then he talks about in the morning of the 12th of Ashwin, Namhatta workers assembled at Bhakti Nidhi's Vadanganj Prapanashram. Later, and so you see all these songs that we're going through right now were written little booklets for this Namhatta program, which is it wasn't just like it was like an actual thing that they did, and everybody had their positions in the Namhatta. Let's see what this last thing that says. He says, it is important that each worker of the Namhatta very carefully observe the following points. Okay, so 1. The glories of Namhatta being revealed in every house depends on the work of the Tahaldar. I think Tahal, I could totally be wrong about this, and it probably explains it earlier on, but Tahal means to roam around and like patrol and like that. And so I think the patrollers, the ones who are like going around and yeah, patrolling and bringing people to the Namhatta, I guess. They're the ones who travel around and move around spreading this Namhatta. That's it. And then 2, at the time of Harinam bhajans and kirtans, we noted the singing of many songs that were filled with conceptions of materialism, voidism, and sense enjoyment. This must not be done in Namhatta. It is proper to sing only songs composed by the previous Mahajans or Acharyas, or those published by the Vaishnav Siddhanta Mala, all these Nagara-kīrtanas that we're going through, or other Vaishnav songs following in this line. Apart from these, no others should be sung. In this regard, I hope that devotees who are in charge of Namhatta operations in the areas concerned will be vigilant. And then 3, it was seen that in many places the workers of Namhatta received special prasad from the devotees, and that this hampered the workers' ability to taste transcendental mellows. This is not desirable, but that does not mean that the proper reception of guests is forbidden. Does that mean that they were overfed? The workers of Namhatta received special prasad from devotees that hampered the workers' ability to taste transcendental. So I guess they like maybe it was like too full on, too opulent. I don't know. Okay, and then 4. In several places, various spontaneous songwriters have accepted the Sri Namhatta verses, but still sing songs from their previous experiences. All such songs are against the principles of pure devotion. It is my desire that songs based on pure devotion and the pure name be composed. If the leader in each area can prepare songs with proper verse, melody, and beat, we will print them in the Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala, these little booklets that we went through. Those groups who do not discuss pure devotion and the pure name, but simply engage in collecting money, should not keep a close connection with the Namhata organization. Otherwise, the glories of the Namhata will be finished. So this is not for making money. This is for getting people, this is for, yeah, establishing the marketplace of the holy name so that people with their faith may receive the name from Nityananda Prabhu. This is to incite people's faith in Nam so that Nityananda Prabhu will go through and see everybody and assess how much faith they have, and he'll sell the name accordingly to them. So signs: Shri Ram Sevak Chattopadhyaya Bhakti Bringa, Shri Kedarnath Datta Bhakti Vinod, the sweeper, and Shri Sitanath Das Mahapatra, the flag bearer. So then he goes through the blissful preaching experiences. Um, Tells some details about that. Children, babies, and the elderly were all stunned as they listened with rapt attention to the Gauranga-kīrtanas that were performed by, what is it, Nila Madhav Chakrabarti. And yeah. Oh, and they went to Prodamaya. Cool. Many talented and intelligent pundits were also okay. So he tells, and he says rules for patrolmen and commanders. In the second desire tree of this publication, this Godrum Kalpatavi, 20 kinds of workers were mentioned. In addition to those, a few others were also employed. As the preaching of Namhata continues strongly, atheist demons who support Kali put forth many arguments against the Namhata. To defeat the atheist Kali and his soldiers, Sri Nityananda created an army to protect the transcendental preaching of the Lord's name imbued with prem. The chief limbs of the army are the commander-in-chief, the Pradhan Senapati, the state commander, the Pradesh Shashta Senapati, the area chief, the Chakrasta Senapati, the patrolmen, the Tahaldar and Padatika. Cool, I got that right. And other workers to assist these soldiers. And the patrolman works in the villages, while the area commander, the state commander, and the commander in chief destroy all atheistic opinions by giving arguments based on scriptures and ultimately establish the glories of the chanting of the holy name. And so then he gives rules for the tahaldar, the patrolman. So they're dressed in appropriate Vaishnav apparel. Each patrolman will patrol his designated area by doing kirtan with kartals. Each day he will visit at least 5 householders and preach to them the message of Mahaprabhu. Then 2, he will remain at the householder's place only long enough to preach the order of Sri Chaitanya and no longer. He's not going to hang out there for any, he's only there to preach, not there to make a relationship with the people and spend time with them and all that. No, he just wants to preach. 3, he will sing the order of Mahaprabhu in a humble way. 4, no material reward should be either requested or accepted from the householders. 5, if a householder resorts to any form of rude behavior, the patrolman should satisfy him with sweet words and attention. Under no circumstances should anger or contempt be allowed to enter the patrolman's mind. 6, if any person wants to engage in debate with the patrolman should inform the local commander. Okay, then 7, the patrolman will carry with him a flag or banner of the Nam Hatta. And 8, those who are beggars and maintain themselves by chanting the holy name are disqualified from becoming patrolmen. Okay, so not people, he doesn't want people who are making money off the name. They are not patrolmen. Those who are making money off of the name, who are trying to maintain themselves by chanting the holy name. So people who take money for doing kirtan are disqualified from becoming patrolmen. Wow, heavy. 9, no one should desire any material reward for his work for the Namhatta. There's no material reward. For one's maintenance, one should depend on his personal occupation. Wow. Flags, banners, and kartals should be purchased by his own income. Wow. He doesn't even want the flags, banners, and kartals to be purchased from, it should be by his own income, his personal occupation. By thus performing selfless service, he will be able to satisfy the chief merchant, Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So these are all the rules for the patrolmen. Then he gives the rules for the commanders. The commanders, one, the commanders will establish the principle of pure bhakti by taking assistance of the Vedas and of authorized Smriti Shastras and Mimamsa Shastras. Two, the commanders will go from village to village to appoint patrolmen to teach them the protocol and, if necessary, to protect them by giving instructions filled with bhakti. Signed, the sweeper of Sri Namhata, the fallen worthless servant, Sri Kedarnath Datta Bhakti Vinod, in Surabi Kunj Kodrum Dweep, Sri Navadvip Tham. Wow, that's so awesome. Let's okay, I know we're finished. Our time is finished. I just want to quickly look at the different positions of the Namhata. So this is I just want to see so the employees of the Namhata. So there is the let's see. So the employees in the posts mentioned below will be appointed in accordance with the order of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So there's the representatives of Nityananda Prabhu. There are 10 panchayat, who are the chief employees. Whatever they jointly decide and announce will be accepted as non-different from the orders of the Lord. Then there's sweeper, the jarudhar. That's what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that he is a sweeper of the marketplace. He keeps the market clean. He also helps the other employees during discussions at their meetings and in performing their responsibilities. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur keeps the market clean. He's not going to let in any false. That's why he was giving all those instructions, because he's the sweeper. He's keeping it clean. So no kirtans that are against our siddhanta and all that kind of stuff. So then, and these are the different places. This is the market reporter. They're the scale operator. There's the keeper of the keys, the chabidar. There's the carrier, the mute. There's the watchman, the bookkeeper, the inspector, constable, the light giver, the ghat protector, at the ghat, like where, yeah, the shopkeeper, the traveling salesman, the wholesaler, the ferryman, the barber. He says, the barber sits near the ghat and shaves men who are going to the marketplace. There's the washerman, the broker, the tailor. Wow, it's like a very, it's a whole economical system. And then there's qualifications and disqualifications for each of the above 20 posts. There's both a qualification and a disqualification. Qualification gives one the right to chant the name. Disqualification implies that one has no right to chant the name. A qualified person can take any of the above mentioned posts. And then he gives the qualifications and disqualifications. And wow, there's so many details. Anyways, we're not going to read this full book right now, but yeah. So this is tomorrow we will go through more Nagara-kīrtanas. And you could find this book, read it on your own. It's very, I mean, I haven't read it yet myself, but I want to read it now. This is awesome. And you can see what a very clear, well-established, organized system Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur set up. Namhata wasn't just some like allegorical thing, like it was actually like a very practical system, this marketplace of the holy name. And so all these kirtans that we'll go through more tomorrow, these are all kirtans that he wrote for inaugurating this Namhata and all these little booklets. So that's our program for today. I'll just do a short Mahamantra and we'll end. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hari bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari bol. Oh yeah, and we can read. Tomorrow we'll go through Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan, and let's read Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary that he wrote in one of those booklets of Vaishnav Siddhanta Mala. Right. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Dev Ki Jai. And for those of you in the West, I think it's his Vyas Puja right today. So Jai Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj's 105th Vyas Puja Mahotsav Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishta Shila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shila Bhaktivedanta Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shila all the associates of Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Shila Jai Shila Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. All Jai Shri Swapashachi Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Nam Hatta Ki Jai. All the employees of Nam Hatta Ki Jai. Shriman Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Nityananda Mahajan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. The cleaner of the marketplace, Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Jarudhar, sweeper of the holy marketplace. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyai Keshavasacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Amal Krishna Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Champak Mataji, Rukmini Didi. I didn't notice you before Rukmini Didi. Haribo. Um, oh, and very thank you, Amal Krishna Prabhu. He says, Jai, thank you. All right, and then I'm just looking at YouTube and Facebook. I haven't looked at there for a while. Let's see. Okay, I see who's there. Jai Shri Didi, Madhubala Didi, Fuleshwari Didi, Vidyalalasa Didi, Krishna Priya Didi, Hemalata Thakurani, Manjari Didi, and she says, Jai, haha, Jai Guy Madai looted the marketplace of the holy names. Yeah, because they're, they're thieves, aren't they? Or whatever. Where can I find this to read on Vine of Devotion? Are you talking about the what we were just reading? The Godrum Kalpatavi, you can find it on bhaktivinodinstitute.org and then go to books and then you'll see it among the books there. That's the website of uh, Sripad BG Bhakti Gaurav Nrsimha Maharaj's disciples. It's a great website. They have lots of yeah. I gave a reference to it in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha actually. All right. Is there anybody who anybody have anything to mention before I end the stream for today? Okay. Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you so much for joining and see you all tomorrow. Today was the introduction to the Nam Hatta, all these Nagar-kīrtanas, all the Nam Kirtans, Bhajan Giti and all that. And tomorrow we will actually go through the Kirtans. And maybe I have to see, but maybe we'll have Janava on if she's available to go through Gopinath Mama Nivedana Shuno because we didn't get a chance to go through that. So